We're back with another short. How you doing, Jamie?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Slightly hectic day yesterday as my daughter had an A&E visit after walking into a table.
Excellent, fantastic.
Yeah, following in my steps, because of anyone who knows me well knows how injury and accident prone. So I think that's karma coming round for all the pain I caused my parents and worry.
That's effectively what happens. Yeah, my daughter ate 5p. I've still got the X-ray of the 5p in her stomach.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it was quite good.
Yeah, but I'm all right otherwise. How about you?
I think I've got your cold. We hadn't even met in person, but somehow I've managed to get a cold.
AI's passed it over to you.
AI has passed it over. More than likely, one of the Herbert children has brought something home from school, no doubt. More than likely. But yeah, we're all good. Another short. What we're going to be discussing today?
So we obviously have already touched upon an Apple product in the first one, which was the Vision Pro. But today we're looking at Titan, Project Titan.
Yeah. Anything
that's got Titan in it, always about some sort of sort of bad monster that's going to come out, but because there's the Titan monsters, bit of Godzilla for you there. But it's about autonomous cars. So Apple is genuinely looking into building an autonomous car that obviously then would sink into a lot of their other products, but the first steps into the motor industry, which could be amazing. But we've already discussed some little bits before you were recording, because we like to geek a bit, but there's already some plot holes. So what do you think to it?
Well, it's Apple, and I see that they've already applied for patents, and they've got a team built or have been working on it for a while, and there's certain factories and other organizations they're talking to. So this is not rumor.
Yeah.
It's fact, right? It's the way Apple go about it. I'm not surprised. I think there's a space in the market for it. I think Tesla are obviously there from that perspective. I actually quite like the story around Tesla and how they're a software company that then transpires into hardware rather than what Ford. I think the Ford CEO was caught saying they fucked up a few years ago, whereby they outsourced lots of things, so the software interface is nothing spoke to anything. Cause their problems with their cars in that then they're having to buy additional licenses to get certain parts of the car to communicate, because these things are computers, right? Whereas Tesla have been able to come in and just benchmark the whole individual products to make one product, but they own the full stack. It's massively powerful from a technology software perspective. That's how you do it, right, Jamie? You wouldn't outsource loads of stuff.
Is how you would call it. You wouldn't want that dependency being needed. And then you know Apple are going to have other things. Obviously they'll have the music side of it sorted, I imagine. They'll probably have a lot of other sort of infrastructure. I wonder if the Vision Pro will be something that helps you play VR.
But but that was the other thing I saw when we were talking about it, and some of the stuff we were exchanging, like links and stuff, was they're actually changing the way they see the inside of the car, because if it's going to be autonomous, it's not necessary. It doesn't need to be a 2-seat, then 3-seat, then boot. It could be much broader. Completely knowing Apple, they'll do that.
Bit like you referenced as well, the sudden popping up an emergency steer wheel for override. That I can't stop picturing it. It's like a plane, like airplane with a blow up pilot comes out of such a pilot plane, which leads into some of the sort of things that I think we were talking about. Yes, there's some definite positives to it. One that you said straight away was obviously if you're inebriated, you could remove the risk of drink driving, because people can just get in their car and say, "Take me home." But counterpoint to that straight away is if then the override has to kick in, who's then liable? Because if a drunk person is in the car and the robot breaks down, what happens?
Yeah. And I think the other thing we were talking about as well is some people might not realise who are listening to this, this is not it's coming with this autonomous. I know we're talking about Apple a little bit specifically, but this subject of autonomy and cars, it's not it's coming, it's here.
Yeah,
So it is here. So in the States, there's a company called Waymo, and their angel investor is Alphabet, who are the parent company of Google. So not short of a bob or two. They actually have licensed taxis in San Francisco and parts of Texas where you can order an autonomous taxi. I think I sent you the video a while ago. Lady literally orders a taxi, car turns up with no one in it driving it. She sits in the back, taps in her access code, it takes her to her destination, all autonomously, no human driving. And that's where we were saying about you could be having quite a few drinks and then getting that car, but then something happens, who's responsible for what?
And then even if you're not inebriated, and it's just, let's say you just buy an autonomous car and you go, you know what, I'm getting, I don't know, sleepy, long journey. Again, that's a positive. It can then remove the risk of someone, like you drive and you go, actually, I want you to take over because I can feel myself nodding off. That's great. But then if the AI or the interface, whatever, has, and it will, like, think about when you work on a website, randomly a bug appears. What happens if something like gets a software update?
Yeah.
Like, Apple love a software update and then bug fixes, and mid-driving, something happens, you ding into another car. What happens with the insurance? Because to me, if I'm like, well, no, I can't be at fault for a robot glitching, but then people are like, well, it's your car. So that's going to be something that will be, and I think you said it very well, it's a classic case again. We've seen it on a couple of these shorts, I think, and on previous episodes where we're talking about AI. The legislation doesn't seem to be able to be keeping up with the technology that's being built, because, like I say, I can see so many pitfalls just on insurance alone of what happens with an autonomous car, and liable, and like, say, drink driving and stuff like that. So I could already see the other side of it, where could it reduce pollution, because you can probably production roll more electric quickly like that as well, and it'll be a higher price, but yeah.
I'm all for it, but you are right. There's really grey areas around some of the legislation and insurance about some of this stuff. I think there's a case a few years ago, if you Google it, where the fella was in the States, long journey, put it in autonomous mode, and was watching films on his MacBook. He had a Tesla or something, and the car crashed. And then who was at fault actually got quite spicy, because there was, well, the manufacturer says that it'll drive itself type thing. I do see huge positives in it though, massive, like pardon?
That's the question straight away, like, because I've obviously got a baby. Would you feel safe? I know there's idiots on the road, I know that, but if you're in your own car and you're giving it over to effectively like a robot, and you've got your baby in the back, would you feel safe knowing it?
Well, here's the thing, right? Humans are notoriously overconfident and dickheads, whereas you can build safety into the technology a lot better. And I think one of the things we are bad at as humans is assuming we're safer than, the flying analogy is the best, right? Everyone thinks they feel safe driving their own car. Actually, you're safer getting in a plane where there's more checks and it's probably more autonomously and legislated for than the road. So part of me is like for it, in that sense. The other thing with it's going to disrupt business, right? From an Apple perspective, I think Elon Musk alluded to it a while back around disrupting Uber.
Yeah.
So if you have a Tesla and that Tesla sits on the drive, is there an opportunity for the Tesla to go and do autonomous taxi runs for you?
Yeah.
And go work for you and then come back, and then the money it's made is knocked off your subscription or your PPI or whatever it is, PPI, I can't remember, hire purchase for your car, because it's made some money while you've not been using it. And for me, that starts to become quite
Oh, that's that's a little money spinner. Although cleaning up after a night out when someone's had kebab sauce in the back of your car.
That's the only thing. Will you be able to say, I don't want it to do any pub runs?
Or immediately take it to a what do you call it, car wash? Just
car wash. Yeah, take it to a car wash first, please. Type thing.
Yeah, exactly. Got a 3-hour shift. At the end of your shift, immediately go to a car wash.
Get cleaned. But I quite like that. And the other thing that they, I think BMW were talking about it around this subscription-based model was, so you've got you and two children. Your subscription could be for an autonomous car from Apple or whoever, for a certain size vehicle. But actually, because it's a subscription model and it's earning you credits or whatever it may be, if you and Charlotte wanted to go away or do something, just the two of you for a weekend, you could actually book it in on an app and say, actually, we want something slim, small and sexy for a period of time, and not have the innuendo, not have the family car, have something.
Oh, I'm picturing, I genuinely thought for a moment, I knew you wouldn't, that you were going to go down the road of just put your kids in the car and drive off.
Let them go. Yeah.
We want a weekend to ourselves. Just try.
Yeah. Take the kids. But that was the other thing. We discussed it. My parents aren't getting any older, younger even, nor yours. Would it make life easier there with, right, we're meeting here, rather than me coming and pick you up, I'll order you an autonomous taxi to your house, just get in the car and it'll take you where you need to be, hospital runs, stuff like that.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot, definitely. Like I say, I think it's more, again, just the cons of, come back to the legislation and that, and and then again, of course, you've got if someone has an accident and it's a serious injury or worse, you can then sue that person if they're negligible, or they caused the accident through bad driving. But again, do you then just go after Apple if they're saying a car does something to you or a family member? You've then got to go to court against Apple, who will then have every single loophole, the best lawyers, and then that's again where it feels a bit like
this is where that, like you say, the insurance and legislation is miles behind where the technology is, which is scary. Going back to it being Apple, do you think the battery will get to 25% and then the car just stops?
Save mode, just put on power save mode, and then they'll release a second version of the car, and it'll have a different charging to the first car, so you have to buy a charger, of course.
Yeah, obviously, and then there'll be no phone jack, obviously. And
exactly.
Auxiliary.
And your cup holder will only fit a specific size Apple cup, probably.
Yeah.
There'll be a lot of that. They'll sneak everything in. And then obviously, just as we're finished the episode, it's always good to touch on Luton. Luton are back in action this weekend. Who have they got? Is it
Forest away? Nottingham Forest away. Yeah,
it is every time. I think this is a big one because they lost to Tottenham, didn't they, last time out? And
they did.
That was an opportunity. Tottenham with 10 men, and they were at home. But yeah, they're away. I think I've seen a few things going on in the town itself as well. There's the Bear Club. The Bear have got a stand-up show which has got the gentleman greeter, the famous gentleman greeter comedian.
Yeah, because he was at Luton Town's football ground, wasn't he? Yeah. I think you sent me that video. That's quite he's good as well.
Yeah, it's always good to shout out. I think that's a good place to shout out, actually. The Bear Club. It's in Luton. It's a really good little bar. It plays jazz, but it has comedy nights, and it gets some really good stand-up comedians, actually. Like I say, the Greeters Guild. That's it, the Greeters Guild.
Greeters Guild.
Playing there soon. So when this episode airs, that show would have happened. But do check out the Bear Club for future shows. I always like to.
It's good. I've been there a few times, not for comedy, for the good beer and jazz, mainly.
Have you as a jazz? Do you play jazz?
Oh, well, it's mainly the good beer, to be fair.
Do you play jazz flute?
No.
Jazz flute.
Actually, my son's claim to fame with the Tottenham game, Luton Tottenham. If you go on the Luton Town Football Club social media page, he was on their social media page
You look like you don't want to be there. I'm going to be honest with you.
I had my "we're going to get battered today" face on.
I don't even. I call it sort of ambivalent. Just there. Just here. Or actually, there wasn't a steak pie in the pie shop. Face.
Very annoyed.
I was pretty annoyed. But yeah, I think we're going to have to delve in. There's a few things that I've seen in the news for the next episode, because we've got a couple more of these before we get into series 2, which we'll start to warm up about what we're going to be doing with series 2, because series 1 ended last week, which was the 19th of October. No, it was the 12th of October.
12th of October.
19th tomorrow. 19th is the first short going out.
It is, yeah. So this will be the 3rd short, I think. Is that right? Yeah. These are fun. I like these because I don't have to worry about embarrassing myself with a guest who knows their stuff. You know what I mean? I can just give my opinion on something.
It's good. Yeah, whether or not people will value the opinion.
Well, yeah, there is that.
But yeah, we'll be doing another 3 actually shorts, because we're going to do 6, aren't we? So yeah, we've got another 3. I think I might touch into gaming on one of them.
Gaming or
the world of gaming.
big subject that is.
Well, it is, but we're old, so we can talk about how we experienced the big shift of when Nintendo stopped with cartridges and CD disc came in, and it was like, oh, this is a game changer here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been enjoyable as always.
Been enjoyable. It's Wednesday, and
it's
hump day, middle of the week.
I'm going to be off to go have some brownies after this.
Enjoy.
Been to Costco, so we both bought.
Bought some brownies.
Yes, we did. Brownie macaroon as well. That's a mind blower in itself.
It is. Right, we'll catch you on the next short. Cheers, Jamie.
Take care, buddy. Bye.